Some CSEC students find transformations really tedious and difficult. I'm here to solve all of that for you. I have some tips that you can use to simplify things and some shortcuts that you can remember to help you answer your multiple choice questions in the CSEC Paper 1 Math. Now remember, the Paper 1 will test you on all the topics that you have done, algebra, graph, relations, all of those. So I have done a video on every single topic. This one, we're focusing on transformations. If you want to get tips on all the other topics, just check out the channel and you'll see those are the most recent videos that I've done up to this point. And you have algebra, you have graphs, you have consumer arithmetic, sets, every topic. All right, so let's dive into the transformations. What are my personal tips that you can use to get you through the section? Any transformation question. Now, my first point, as it relates to the translation. So remember, the translation is a vector. You're using a vector, and the vector would be vertically. So the bracket would be vertical as opposed to the horizontal bracket for the actual coordinates for the points. So you look out for the vector which is written one number over the other vertically, right? So the vector, the first value is your x value. You're going to move that many places on your x-axis. And the second value is your y value. You're going to move that many places on the y. So if it's a positive x, you move to the right. Negative x, you move to the left. Positive y, you move up. Negative y, you move down. Okay. Tip number 2, for your reflection in the x-axis, a quick shortcut, the coordinates that you're given, your x and y value, just make the y value negative. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Flip the sign of the y value if it is a reflection in the x-axis. Tip number 3, if it is a reflection in the y-axis, a shortcut that you can take is to make the x negative if it was positive. So you change the sign for the x value. If it was negative, you make it positive. If it was positive, you make it negative. Shortcuts. You can go straight to that. Tip number 4, for reflection in the line y equal x. So remember, the line y equal x will run straight through the origin. Each x value, so basically what it's saying, if x is 2, y is 2. If x is 10, y is 10. Y is equal to x. If you have a reflection in that line, all you need to do to find your corresponding point that is being reflected, reverse the x and y. So if you had 2, 3, it's going to become 3, 2. You're swapping them over to get the corresponding point that is being reflected in the line y equal x. Okay, easy peasy, very convenient shortcut. Tip number 5, for enlargement. So for example, if your scale factor of enlargement is 2 and the center is at the origin, so you know you're going to be given your x, y. Let's say 2 to 3. 2 on the x, 3 on the y. That's your original point. And if the scale factor is 2, all you need to do, multiply the x value by 2, multiply the y value by 2 to get your corresponding point on the enlargement. Okay. If it is a scale factor of -1, then it's actually corresponding to a rotation of 180 degrees. So you would just do that rotation The size will not change because it's a 1, okay? But the negative will take it to 180 degrees. Same for the rotation of 180 degrees. Tip number 6, for a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So if the center of rotation is 0, 0, that's the origin. The X and Y values that you're given, you're going to switch them over and then change the sign of the X. So let's say you had 4, 5, is going to become 5, 4, but the sign of the 4 is going to change. It's going to be -4. And if it's an anti-clockwise rotation of 90 degrees, you flip them around and change the sign of the Y. So if you had 1, 7, is going to become -7, 1. Practice these quick flips, practice them, study them, and you can just go straight shortcuts, really inconvenient shortcuts. Tip number 7. So a rotation 180 degrees. Let's say you're given your XY values. For the image, it will become -X, -Y, which coincidentally is the same as the enlargement of scale factor -1. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. Tip number 8, remember, if you're translating, the size will not change. The size of the object will not change in the image. All right. So just whatever the translation is, you're going to add that to each point in your object to get the image. If you're given the graph, because remember it's multiple choice now, you're given the graph, count up the boxes to see how many places you need to move, or you can just do the addition, watch your negative numbers. Remember you're working with negative integers and positive integers. Refresh yourself on those so you don't make any simple mistake when you're doing your adding your vector for the translation. Tip number 9, where it has to do with invariant points. Now, an invariant point is a point that doesn't move. So, for example, if you are reflecting in the x-axis and there are any points already on the x-axis, they will not move. So the image and the object will actually be touching the x-axis, one above and one below. Just like if an insect were to land on the surface of the water, so touching the surface of the water, and you will see the insect above and the reflection immediately below. That is how the invariant points would show on the reflection in the x-axis. Or even if it's in the y-axis, once it's invariant, the point itself does not move. There's no space between the point and the axis. So your image, the new diagram that you're drawing, will touch the point. Tip number 10, you can be asked to interpret combined transformations. You know, the original one will just have the letters with no stroke at the top, which we call the so we have different ways of referring to it. We can say A prime, A double prime, A triple prime. So the original or the object will just have the letters. The first transformation will have one stroke, and the second will have two strokes, and so on. So start with the original, and you can literally count the boxes that just focus on one point, focus on A, count from A to A prime along the horizontal and then along the vertical. You might be going up or down, bear that in mind, to see how many places did you have to move, whether up or down, negative or positive, to get to A prime. and that will tell you your transformation. So do them one at a time, from the origin to A prime and then to A double prime. Tip number 11. So if you're given an actual matrix for the reflection, let's say in the x-axis, right? So it's typically 0, -1, and for the y-axis, -1, 0. Tip number 12, always, always, always eliminate the answers that do not make sense. So if you're asked to identify the image that has been enlarged and it looks exactly the same, and you are told that the scale factor of enlargement was greater than 1, you know that cannot be, because in an enlargement with scale factor greater than 1, the image is definitely larger. It's an enlargement, right? And if it is a reflection and the image, the orientation does not change, you know that's definitely not a reflection, because on the reflection, the orientation will change. Tip number 13, if you are asked to describe the transformation, you will be expected to basically give 3 points. So you have to say what type of transformation, where is the center, right? And like how, for the enlargement, the scale factor. So it is an enlargement with scale factor 2 about the origins, the center 0, 0, that kind of thing. You need to have all 3 points. Tip number 14, so for the vectors, remember that the vector itself is usually a vertical column. The x value tells you move to the right, positive to the right, negative to the left, and the y value means you move vertically up or down if it's negative. Same as the translation. And my last tip, look for the orientation. If you're asked to determine what kind of transformation, remember for CSEC, the basic transformations would be your translation, your reflection, your enlargement, and what's the other one? It's usually 4 of them. It's slipping me now. Enlargement, rotation, translation, something else to come to me. So you have to look carefully for the orientation, right? The reflection. Look for the orientation to see. If it's a reflection, the orientation will definitely change. It will be the opposite, right? For the rotation, identify the center. So draw straight lines from all points and see where they converge, and that will give you the center of rotation. For the translation, the orientation will not change, but the object will be moving up and down the graph. So you have to identify a point and count how many places before you get to the corresponding point in the image, right? And you know, for the enlargement, the orientation tends to stay the same unless it's a fractional enlargement or negative, but the size usually is what you look for. For the enlargement, the size will be bigger because you're enlarging. Okay, that's generally what you look for. So those are the tips. If you follow those tips, you'll do well in this section of the paper 1 that has to do with your transformations. Study your rules that are pointed out to you, how you can just go straight to changing the sign or reversing the coordinates, depending on which one of the transformations you're dealing with. If you know those by heart, it will make it very easy for you